Hey everyone, it's Apache here and welcome back to another episode of Megaquarium, the Freshwater Frenzy campaign. Thank you very much for joining me today and continuing to show your support for the series. If you do enjoy this episode, please leave a like and a comment, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe as well. So last episode we got up to rank 8 at the end of last episode, and so we are 2/3 of the way through this, but we do need to go up to 3,500 prestige, and that is going to be one hell of a kick from the 2,000 that we already have. So I think there's a couple of things I want to do today. The first is try and get some of this back area sorted out, because we got a quest to say that we want one of these feeding platform tanks in, and I think this area at the back would be a nice area to showcase that tank. However, I think that we're going to need, this is like a big tank. I think let's have a look just how big it is. It's up to 320, so it is a nice big tank, so we're going to need a decent amount of staff area behind it. So what I think is we should actually probably close off this area here, and have this area at the back as a staff area where we can add in the tank, all the pumps and everything for it. So let's grab one of these first off and let's see what we can do. So we want it this way and bring it out to its maximum size, and see where we can put it in here. So if we had it, that's not good. This is its maximum size, but it's obviously an even number and we've got an odd number at the back. And I won't allow myself to do that, to be honest. That's really annoying. I can't stand the asymmetry of it. So let's get rid of that one, and let's see if we can push it down to just less than its maximum size. So at the moment it is an even number, so we could have it. Let's put it just there so that we can see just how far out. So that would be an odd number, and then that's its maximum size. Again, that's not good either. Okay, so the viewing platform, the actual feeding platform, is always too wide. So if we could do it like that and have that right in the centre, and that would be symmetrical on either side, but now this is not symmetrical, so we can't do that either. I think the only way we could actually do this is by having two of them, because then we get automatic symmetry. So if we bring one out to there and one out to there. Now, how much are we actually going to need at the back of this then? If we close this entire area off at the back, we put a staff door in the very centre of it, that will maximise the amount of space we have inside it. We're obviously going to need probably a double network here. So if we place that down, just think how big are the pumps going to be. It needs to be 2 away and 2 away at the top. Now that will still reach, so that wants to go there, and then we want one on the other side in exactly the same place. That one will go there. These are size 320. So let's get the platforms in. There and there. Get rid of that one. And get the stairs in. Now it looks like these are doubles, so we'll need 2 sets of stairs. So we'll do that, and finally on this side they'll go down to there. So we have the stairs going up the back, we have the staff area here. Now I don't know whether it's better to have both of these on the same network and play it like that, or whether we actually want to have one of these for our guppy breeding program. And have one of them as freshwater and one of them as something else, maybe freshwater acidic or saltwater. One thing we could do is have them both on the same network and have them both as, say, tropical saltwater, or have them both as freshwater. Or actually, maybe we can do something. One thing I don't think I've tried yet. Let's have a look at this. If we just put in the heating that we're actually going to need on this. So if we put, what's it going to be? One at the back, one there, and one there. And these are 220, so that should be 660 in total, which will be enough if we add this tank in. So that's all the heat we're going to need for both of these. Now, these two are on the same network. If I first of all add in, say, let's just say a clownfish into here. So now this is designating this fish as, or this tank as saltwater. Can I now add in a freshwater fish into this tank? So let's have a look at that. Let's go for it does, to be honest, it doesn't really matter. Let's go for one of these gardener's killifish. And I suppose it doesn't really matter if we actually, no, it will, because the amount of acid we're going to need to create an acidic tank here is going to be crazy. So if we put that, no, cannot be placed in a saltwater tank. Okay, so as soon as you place a fish in one, that designates the other as the same type. That's an important thing to know when we're doing this networking. I think we did touch on it in the last episode, or in the last level, but I couldn't remember if we could separate these out if they're on the same network, which is a shame. A real shame, to be honest, because it means that both of these tanks have to be exactly the same if we want to separate their concerns and have both pumps working for each other, no, for both of the tanks. We could have both of them working on one tank, I suppose. If we take this one off of here, no, if we grab the pump and remove that tank. So now it's only running on this tank, therefore we will only need that, these two. And then we can do the same on the other side, so we will have that and that. And then we have 3 more slots on each of these pumps to be able to put stuff, whatever we want. But it does mean that we still won't be able to have one of them as an acidic tank, because there's no way that we can get enough acid. So let me have a look through and see exactly what I want to do with these, and I'll get back to you in a second. So I think I've got an idea about what to do with these two tanks, and we're not going to be able to do it immediately because I will need these mega chillers to be able to make up the numbers on this pump here. However, what I'm going to do is have some of the larger fish from the cold water and the tropical salt water in here, and I think that's going to do the best. I mean, we could have this one as freshwater and this one as, well, freshwater neutral, and have this one as saltwater tropical. So I'm going to focus on this tank here first of all, and even going to go to the extent that we're going to lock off access, public access, to this tank first of all, so we don't have to worry about that at all, and we're not going to have negative moodlets from this being empty and bare, and we'll focus on this and make this one look nice and pretty with a lot of different animals in it. So one of the animals that I do want, we haven't actually unlocked yet, which is going to be this yellow, blue and yellow grouper here. It grows up to size 24. You can only have one of them in a tank at any one time, and it will eat up to size 9 creatures. So 9 is the minimum size of creature that we can have in this tank, eventually at least, once everything has grown up. We can kind of stage the timings of all of this, because they're not in it yet. because they haven't even been researched. We can add those last so that the other animals have time to grow up. I think one of the other ones I'm definitely going to want is the panther grouper here. This will eat up to size 5, but once it grows up it'll be fine from the other guy, from a yellow and blue grouper. So I think we're going to want a pair of these. They're fine in pairs, and it'll give us like an 84% chance, or however many it will be. We have a look at these now. We have 57%. It's not huge. Of getting the 6 prestige from it, but I think it will do. For now at least. We'll see how much space we have in the tank once I've put everything that I want in. These will grow up to size 14. We have to remember that. So we actually have 28 in this tank at the moment. We already need 8 of the cave, but we're going to put everything in first before we actually start doing that. The other fish I definitely want in there is going to be, if we scroll down to the bottom here, we have the humpback snappers here. These will eat up to size 6, so these can go in immediately with the panther groupers. And so it's the dangerous fish, the fish that will eat the smaller ones, and we can't put them anywhere else. So we put them up here and make a show of actually feeding them. So they do need a tank of 96, we've got that, that's no problem at all. So we'll add in 1, 2, 3 of those, because they shoal in threes. We'll close that down. These are, oh yeah, they need the cave, but we'll worry about that later on. Maybe it is better to have 3 of those panther groupers in. And is there anything else which is nice and big and won't worry about being eaten by any of these? These unicorn sturgeon fish, we've already got 2 of them in the front tank. However, these will work in this tank fairly easily. So I think if we add 1, 2 and 3 of those in, they're not happy because they don't have the plants, that's fine. And then now looking down the list, is there anything else which is nice and big? These French angelfish. If we had these, we couldn't have any of the bottom feeders in, which would be a bit of a shame. Because it might be nice to try and get some kind of bottom feeders in here. Will these eat everything? Let's have a look. What do we have in here? We've got the panther groupers, belly crustaceans size 1 to 5. The which was the second one we put in. A humpback snapper, just crustaceans, that's okay. And then the unicorn sturgeon fish. Where are they? Come back. There it is. This won't eat anything. Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's fine. So we do have the option at the moment of adding in these marbled serpent fish, but we'd have to wait for these to grow up. Oh, no, we wouldn't. No, that's fine. We can add these in. These will add a little bit of filtration to the tank. They are scavengers, so they don't require feeding. They'll just get fed when these guys get fed. And they do require a bit of rock. It adds a lot more of these traits into the tank, and I'm hoping to be able to put the science poster onto this tank. So we'll add in 1, 2, 3 of those. Now again, they're not happy because they don't have enough rock yet, but we will worry about that later on. And is there anything else we can actually add in? Soft corals? Yeah, we could put some soft corals in if we wanted. Actually, maybe we couldn't. Can we put lights onto this tank? Yes, we can. Costs a huge amount, but we can actually put lights onto this tank. None of these care about light, do they? No. So we might as well actually add some light onto this tank. And then we can add in some of the corals here. So we have the anemones, clams and gorgons, or gorgonians. So we could actually add some of these bubble tip anemones. They don't seem too difficult. So if we added in 1, 2 and 3 of those, and then we've got daisy star polyps. Again, they look fairly easy to keep. These guys look fairly easy to keep, and so do these. So let's add in some disco mushrooms, just 2 of those. We want this one, scroll down, tubular mushrooms. Let's see, just 1 of those. And then with daisy star polyps, we'll have 2 of those. Okay, so we don't have quite enough of the filtration. So if we swap 1 of these out for a double filter, that actually solves it. Okay, that's good. So now we just need the caves and the rocks and the vegetation. So obviously we're going to want a pitted column in here. Actually no, we need 8. So 1 of these rocky overhangs would be fine. And I think that will look a bit better. We've already got a pitted column down at the other end. And that also gives us 4 out of 6 of the rock. So we're actually only going to need a little bit. And then we can actually start making stuff look a little bit pretty. And I really do like these live rocks. I've always liked these ones. So we're going to add some of these around. Just like that. And then we need 9 foliage. And so in here, ooh, we have egg rack. We have the velvet horn. This egg rack I do really like. So we'll add 1 in there and 1 in there at the back. As a kind of screen for the back. And then we will have... We don't have any of the big kelp, but we'll get some feather kelpora. And we'll stick this around like that. That's fulfilled the needs, but we're going to make it look nice and pretty as well. We'll get some velvet horn and we'll stick that down there. And is there anywhere else we can put it? There. Okay. And then we want some of the decor stuff. So in here we've got some of this new stuff we haven't added in yet. A cannon looks really nice underneath the feeding jetty. And then let's come back into here. I do like the idea of having some nets in here if we can. It would be nice if we could have them in the centre, but down at the front might actually be quite nice as well. So you can actually see them through the nets. That might be quite good for them. And then I want some kind of modern art in the front of it here. We've got this modern art statue here. It's a double. So it looks like we can't have that one in. We do have a lantern and we do have a skull. Quite like the idea of having the lantern in the very centre of it there. A skull right in the corner at the back there. I think that looks quite nice. Maybe a little bit down the front here with some eelgrass. If we do that. And then we can have 1 in there. And just a little bit of kelp around the areas we haven't filled in. Let's have a look what that looks like from ground level. Ooh, yes. That looks like a nice full tank. And we've also got another fish to add into there once it is researched. But it's only going to be the 1 fish. So now we need mussels, sand eels, green pellets and zooplankton. So at the back here we've got 4 spaces. So we want some mussels. Why is it saying that we don't have any? Because that's bloodworms. I've done it again. We want... No! That's the same mistake. We want mussels. Right, okay. It's just because it was paused. We want sand eels. So if we grab the sand eels. Now we want green pellets. Go green pellets, and now we want zooplankton. We'll grab the zooplankton. And we may need to double up on some of these. We don't have a huge amount of space in here to do it, but we can push them up against these bits a little bit. In fact, what I might do is move these ones down to there. We can still get to these filters to be able to repair them. And while this is not operational, I don't actually need any of that in place. So I'm going to delete all of that, and we're going to worry about this one later on. I want to keep it in so that we've got the space for it actually in there. But if we press play now, we should have this working-ish, I hope. Why is this saying at least one staff cannot access this tank? Is there a clear route? Let's see what happens. Oh, okay, right. It's because we've only got one member of staff back here. So they need to go through and one by one go through all of this. It does have feeding of 3 if we increase that up. But yeah, we're definitely going to need more staff back here. So let's actually hire another member of staff to look after this while we are working down at the front. I'm not going to open this up just yet to the public either, because I want to sort out all of this area down here. You're just fixing, you are fixing and feeding. Ooh, feeding 5. Yes, please. Okay. Welcome to the party, Caleb. I hope you are very happy here. So now we can get 2 of these going at the same time. Hopefully they'll be able to keep up and catch up with what they need to do. And then we will be able to open this up once we've sorted out down here. So the second area I want to work on today is this area down here, and mainly I want to try and sort the area out a bit. It's looking a little bit cluttered, and we've got a huge amount of dead space around in the staff areas, which we're not utilising at all. So we actually separated it off here. We've got this looking nice and pretty at the back. However, I want to prettify the stuff at the front as well. I kind of want to leave this in at the front just here. I'm happy with it up to here. However, this stuff I think does need a bit of a reworking. So one of the first things I want to do, we've got this tank back here, and all that's on it is this one heater. That's all it needs. So if we moved that to there, we can actually delete that, and then we can actually move this to somewhere else. So we can actually put it down here. So I think if we move that to there, if we delete these ones for now, and if we delete that staff door and this area at the front just there, then we should be able to move all of this down to there, which we can do, but we need to move these out of the way as well. So just put those there for now, and now we can spin this around and put that straight into place just there. Now, obviously we're going to need to sort some stuff out with this and move stuff around a bit. Now what we can do, if we take all of this out just for now as well, and we can work out exactly where the staff area is going to be, because we can then move this to be there, and that will go onto there. We can move these bits, which are they? Hang on, zoom out a bit. This is the food which is required for the turtles in this tank, and then we can say Actually, what we can do, get rid of that one entirely, and if we have a large heater at the back there, we have those like that, and like that. We can still get to this to be able to maintain it, and then we can just have one of these large filters on there. Now, I'm just trying to work out whether I do like that or not. I think that, and it gives us more redundancy in one unit if we use the other way. So I am going to use that. It does mean we've got a bit of dead space back here. I mean, we could put something there, but I don't know if there's any real point. And then we will add in one of these large combis back into there. So we know that this wall is going to come back at least to here, which is actually fine because that comes across to there. And then that is this area sorted. However, what we can do as well is we can add that into there, and then we have some space. If we put in the staff door like that, we can then have this back area here as the food. So we had some food over here which we need to move back in, and that was a tool workstation, which is going to be important. And then all we're missing from here now is the mic stands, but we can add those back in somewhere else. So we've now moved the turtles into a much better area, prominent at the front of the building here. We do need to move the podium we've got here as well though, so let's do that. Let's stick that in just there. Having the podiums close together is actually quite advantageous because then the staff don't need to walk too far between them. I've added in a couple of walls down here to see if we can limit the amount of area which is behind for the staff and try and maximise the amount of area for the guests to walk around here. We are getting a lot of guests in now and it's looking very, very packed and crowded. So I want to try and boost the amount of space we've got for them. So if we take out this row down here full of stuff, and we'll take out all of this as well. Let's just get rid of everything, and all of this, and all of this. And we'll be able to see exactly then just how much space we have available to us. And we'll get rid of the toilets and all of that as well, all of this, and the benches. And then this front bit as well, like that. Now one thing I do want to see is if we push this up as far as we can just there, can we move this to the other side just here and get it to fix onto there? No, we can't. Okay, so it would have to be right in the centre, and I don't really want to do a centre island with this. So it looks like we are going to have this at the back, but we can push it back further than we had it, maybe, if we put it round this way. Yes, okay. So if we move these ones out the way again, so we'll put that there. Now we should be able to move this and place it in there, which again will maximise the amount of space that we have in here to work with. And place that there, and again, now to move you again, sorry, because that one wants to be there, and pushed you right through the wall. So now this area actually only really needs to be like this big. I think it makes sense for it to be at least up to here. Maybe the space we've got there is good, but I think we could probably have a couple of tanks at the back just here. So if we move that one actually, move that just to there. But if we take off this up to there, is that equal on either side? Yes, it is. Then we could actually have a wall tank or a corner tank or something on these. So let's see what we can do with that. If we go for a deep wall tank, then we could actually have a pretty decent size deep wall tank that comes all the way out to the end. So if we do that to there and to there, build those out like that, and that produces a lot more open space in the centre. It brings everybody through, and it means we could actually bring these a little bit further out and unsquashify these. We could actually bring both of these out all the way up down to here and really maximise the amount of space, because I don't think we're going to need anything more than these. We've got 2 more tanks here we haven't built, and we've got this huge tank here but we haven't built as well. So maybe we put chrysal tanks in this area, forget about this space here. So if we put those in one there, not quite. We move that just to there, and then we want to move you, put all these back in place. They're nice and open now. However, we will need to move these, and of course that pushes everything else down. So let me sort out where all of this stuff is going to go, and I will get back to you in a minute. So I think I've actually got this now how I want it. I've managed to fit some of the pumps around in here. This is the first spot where it would actually reach onto the tanks here. So I've had to separate out a lot of the concerns. I've taken this chrysal tank here off of the network with these 2 in. I've had to change this over as well. I've added in a couple of nitrate filters there, and I've added in some egg rack and some live rocks over here. It may mean that we want to add some egg rack into here somewhere, but we have pretty much filled this tank. But if we can change some of those rocks out in the bottom for some live rocks, that would actually help a little bit with redundancy. But that is all sorted over here now. As you can see, I've changed around these just to put these in a big long line across here, and that helps to spread it all out and give us a lot more space around this area. I think I'm also going to move, not people, no, you can go there. I'm going to move these over to here. You can put the bin in the centre of that. This is the best tank to actually have this on. This gives us 450 on this one tank. This gave us 300. I did try it on here, but it's only 300's worth on there. This is almost definitely best on this one. I don't think there's any tanks which have got more than the amount we got in here, and we can put more in as well. We haven't maximised the area in that. So again, over here we can move that onto there. We can move that to just there, and then this one to there. To there. Okay, so that's all that in. Now, do we have a way in for staff on this side? No, we do not. Okay. So we can add in a staff door just there. And now finally, for pretty much the first time this episode, we can actually resume the game and get it running. We should not see anybody actually dying from any of this. Oh, there's that one complete. Okay. The tank performed exactly as we hoped. The guests seemed to really enjoy getting a clear view of the feeding process. Okay, just completely missed that. What did we even get from that? Base prestige plus 200. Ah, brilliant. Okay, That's really, really nice. We need to get up to 3,500. Now, we've got some negative movements about. It's probably because people didn't like hearing the same thing twice. They've been in here for that long. And we also do need to add in some of the vending machine stuff back into here again. Now, the reason why I've shut these ones off is again so that we don't get negative moodlets. So I'll put in a wall across the front of this tank, just like we did here, so that nobody can actually view an empty tank. What I have done with these two though is this tank is on the same network as the acidic freshwater tank here, and then similarly on the other side this tank over here is on the same network as the neutral freshwater tanks. For the next thing we're going to want to unlock, I think that it would be a good idea to try and get... What does this tool belt do? Tool belt accessory increases the equipped staff's fixing skill by 10%. Okay, so it's not overly important. The improved RO machine might be quite nice, but I think we've actually got everything we're going to need now. The popcorn cart might actually be one of the best to go for here. Actually no, I'm going to get the mega chiller because that gives us the most opportunities we can do for this one tank here. I do think though we are going to need some vending machines at the back here, so we're going to again temporarily add these in like that, and a coffee machine. With these ones we're going to definitely go for the blue and yellow grouper here, and then we're going to grab coffee machine on either side as well, and we may as well have the fizzy drinks machine on either side, just like that. Okay, so I'm going to leave this running just for a bit to see what's going on. The red striped earth eaters have grown, that's good for them, and Gabri is going to level up. Yeah, let's level up cleaning, why not? Okay, yeah, I'm going to leave this running for a while, make sure everything's running fine, make sure we don't have any problems with the tanks and all the fish like their new habitats, and then, oh, exactly, just here we don't have a huge amount of redundancy on this, so when this starts playing up we're going to need to keep on top of that. That's one thing we're going to have to make sure we try and fix maybe as we carry on. But yeah, I think I'm going to let it carry on for a bit just to make sure everything's okay, and we'll be back in a second. So we have now unlocked the blue and yellow grouper here. We're going to go, I just don't really suppose it matters which one we go for next. We'll go for the catfish. I've been running this for a while and it seems like everything is okay. We're going to add in that blue and yellow grouper here, and I do just very quickly before we end today want to add in a couple of toilets on either side just here, because we've got a lot of toilet needs for our people. So if we take those out of there, we can then add in, go to here, we've got these deluxe toilets now, which we actually gain prestige from people needing the loo, which is nice, and then we can just tuck those in like that, and they will stay just there. I think that'll be okay. And then one last thing, we want this blue and yellow grouper to be put into here. A lot of the stuff in here has actually now grown up, so the only ones that haven't yet are the sturgeon fish, so I might actually wait. Hang on, let's just have a look at these ones. 1 to 4, then 1 to 9. Okay, so yes, we can add these, and in 2 days time these are going to grow up to be size 18. Everything else is fine. Humpback snappers, they're size 16, and the panda groupers are size 14. So yeah, everything's okay. So we can add that one into there. Does mean we're going to need a bit more cave. So let's just very quickly add in some... Should actually be able to do that. A bit of driftwood somewhere. If we've left any space at all. Which of course we haven't. So let's take out some of that feather calpura. Let's take out... Which ones are they? That one. And that one. Maybe we should swap this out for a pitted column instead of doing this. We might need to as well. So if we then grab some driftwoods, we can add those in like that. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, and then in 2 days' time, the which one is it? All these unicorn sturgeonfish will grow up out of danger. So yeah, that is where we're going to leave it for today. It's been a bit of a longer episode than I actually kind of wanted to do today. Oh, wow. What on earth? We have no broom closets. Can we still delete these? Oh, you can't delete them anymore. What we can do is just move them all out of the way. You can actually do it. You can move them into a staff area out of the way. Right. We need to quickly get on top of that. So that is in here, isn't it? Brooms, yeah, we deleted all the broom stands. That was silly. We've got plenty of space over here. So let's just get everybody on this. Anybody that can clean, want you straight away to be on cleaning. Let's get on top of this as fast as we can. And then prioritise all of these. Right. That'll be much better. And I suppose as well we should probably put a bin just there. Okay, yeah, thank you very much for joining me today. If you did enjoy this episode, please leave a like, comment and subscribe on the video and to the channel, and I will see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please consider supporting me by subscribing to the channel and liking and commenting on the videos. Thanks. See you next time.